guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Chidi and I make videos about my lifestyle, motherhood and some bits of medical school. If you're new to my YouTube channel, thank you so much for joining the gang, and I hope you stick around for long. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for the support. I really appreciate it. So in today's video, I'm going to be letting you guys know how I've been coping since having a baby. So as you guys already know, if you've watched my previous video on my labor and delivery vlog, and if you haven't watched that video, I'm going to link it somewhere on the screen. So you guys already know that I had baby number 2, my baby girl, and today's day 10 since giving birth, so 10 days postpartum, and I just wanted to have a chat and let you guys know how I've been feeling and how I've been coping since having a baby. So the postpartum period is rarely spoken about. The period after the baby has been born, so postpartum. And I wanted to shed more light on how this period has been for me and for the family as well. You guys know that I had my baby through elective C-section. An elective C-section was indicated for this birth because I had a previous C-section that was an emergency surgery due to failure of the labor to progress with need to tube. So his labor wasn't progressing despite having induction done with oxytocin, and that was why I had an emergency C-section. So because I had a previous emergency C-section with subsequent pregnancies, an elective C-section will always be an option for you. You really do have two options. You either go for an elective C-section, so elective in the sense that a planned C-section, or you go for a VBAC. So a VBAC means a vaginal birth after C-section, which you really don't have to you don't have to go down the route of having an elective C-section. The decision completely depends on you. So I went for an elective C-section in the end because I don't feel like I was well supported in making an informed decision as to whether to have a VBAC, because I didn't really have I didn't have anyone close to me who had a VBAC before to explain things to me or tell me how to prepare for it, because you have to be in the right mental state to think about having a VBAC. I'm saying this because VBAC does come with complications, and you just have to feel very well supported with the right information to help you make decisions. After having a C-section, you do require a period of recovery. You tend to recover quicker with a vaginal delivery compared to a C-section. Obviously with C-section, it's undergone a major surgery and you require time to recover. So I think that's what puts most people off having a C-section. It does get really difficult with a C-section because obviously it's a major abdominal surgery, and if you have to undergo that recovery period, including looking after your kids, and if you don't have enough support around you, it does get really difficult. So now going back to my postpartum period. So the first few days after my C-section, I was in so much pain. Right from the hospital, I did feel a lot of pain. So compared to my first one, I do feel like it was a lot more painful this time. And I had a lot of medications given to me, stronger painkillers, because I was at some point codeine wasn't even working for me at all. So I had to request for stronger painkillers like morphine, which took the edge of the pain. So in my first C-section, I don't remember requesting for stronger painkiller. I think paracetamol was enough to subside the pain compared to this C-section. So I've heard that subsequent C-sections are a lot more painful, and that is what I experienced in my own case. So after I got back to the house, I was still in pain. I wasn't able to walk properly. That area was very sore. I couldn't do a lot of things for myself. So you could imagine how much support you require during this time. And if you're someone by yourself, you could imagine how difficult it will be for you during this time. So, but luckily enough for me, I had my husband around me, I had my mom, people that were around me that were helping me. So when I got to the house, they were helping me with a lot of stuff. So this is why obviously a lot of people are put off having a C-section. So now I've talked about C-section and the difficulties of coping after you've had a C-section. I'm going to talk about breastfeeding now. So guys, I decided to breastfeed. I'm just going to say it now. It doesn't matter how you feed your child. A well-fed child is a happy child. It doesn't matter if you're breastfeeding or if you're bottle feeding. Whatever works for you and whatever is best for you and the child is fine. It's completely fine. So guys, I chose to breastfeed this time around because I breastfed Nato, and I'm just comfortable with breastfeeding. So I chose to breastfeed baby Onye this time around as well. As you guys may know or may not know, the breast milk doesn't flow until like, you know, a few days after delivery. So in the first few days in the hospital, because I spent one night in the hospital, and obviously my breast milk wasn't flowing, although you have colostrum there, and you are encouraged to, like, you know, to latch the baby so they can get the colostrum, which is very, you know, nutrient rich and good for your baby. So I was doing that as well, but at the same time my baby was hungry, so I had to supplement with formula in the first night. So when I got home, second night, milk wasn't flowing as well. So I just kept giving formula and, you know, alternating with, like, you know, latching the baby on my breast to get the colostrum. So my breast milk eventually started flowing on day 5. Yeah. So, and I was happy, and yes, I started breastfeeding. So in the postpartum period, you can also have problems with, like, latching. Sometimes the baby, they don't latch properly, and it tends to cause a lot of anxiety to the mom, to the mother, and also stress to the baby, because obviously they're not getting fed properly and they cry a lot. When they are crying, the mom is more anxious, and it can lead to a very, very stressful period. So everyone might think that, you know, breastfeeding is such a natural thing, so the baby should already know how to latch onto the breast, and, you know, everything should just go so smoothly. But guys, surprise, it doesn't happen that way. So during the antenatal periods, the midwives, they try to teach you how to, like, you know, they try to teach you different positions to enable proper latching of the baby to the breast. This may not be successful most of the time. New mothers tend to struggle with, like, finding the right positions to enable the child latch properly. If the baby hasn't latched properly, you have sore nipples, you can have cracked nipples, which are very, very painful. And if you have cracked and sore nipples, obviously that tends to, like, discourage you from breastfeeding further, because each time the baby latches on the breast, like, you're on your constant excruciating pain. So these are the things that can actually, like, make moms decide not to breastfeed and go on to formula. So in my own case, I was lucky that Nipples and Baby Onyi, they are very good at latching. So they just latched up properly, and my breastfeeding was established in no time. Also during the postpartum period, babies, they're waking up every 2 to 3 hours to feed, and which can be very tiring. Especially for someone like me that's just, you know, had a C-section and you have a lot of pain, you just need to, like, relax and rest as much as you can. But you know what? Surprise! You can't be doing that, because baby will be waking up every 2 to 3 hours to feed, and you have to wake up to feed baby. So it can be it can be a very, very stressful time. You know, with broken sleep, you know, sleep deprivation. It can have an effect on your mental health, because it's just something you're not very used to, and then you have to do all these things, like, with the pain. And guys, it's not very easy. So it's just something we new mothers have to, like, adjust to. And these babies, they probably do in the first few months of life, in the first 3 months of life, or even before the first few months of life. So they're just trying to adapt to the environment, because obviously when they're in the womb, they're eating more frequently, eating every 2 to 3 hours. So that would continue outside the world until, like, you know, 2 months or 3 months, and they will get back to, like, you know, normal life of eating every you know, 4 to 6 hours. But in the first few weeks, it really gets really difficult. Then guys, I'm going to also shed some light on my mental health. So guys, so in terms of my mental health, I'm okay, I'm feeling great, I'm in, you know, great moods most of the time. I'm happy having baby around me, I'm happy with the family, I'm happy with nature. So I'm just in a very good place, and I have nothing to complain about. Obviously, this has been made possible by the support, like, I've received from my husband and my parents. Like, I've got a good support system, so that's enabled me to maintain a good mental state. Some mothers, they do experience, like, baby blues. So baby blues, when, like, you just have this labile mood state, probably constantly alternating between feeling sad and happy and not knowing what is going on. So it can be very common, especially the baby blues. It can be common, it can be normal, and some mothers, they experience this during the first few days after delivery. And also you can also have, like, some mothers also experience postpartum depression, when they start feeling sad or feeling out of control, and these things tend to happen. It's very important to always, you know, check on your mood, and if you feel like your mood is being affected, and you feel like you're feeling a certain type of way which is, like, not normal for you, then it's very wise to, like, contact your midwife, contact your doctor or your midwife or GP, and, you know, try to discuss this with them, like, because an early intervention does help a lot in, you know, managing these conditions. And guys, like, if anyone is starting to feel this way after delivery, Please do not put so much pressure on yourself, or do not think you failed yourself. This is very common. It's very normal. You're not alone. A lot of moms, they go through this stage. Although I know it's probably not, commonly spoken about, but do understand that you're not alone. A lot of people pass through this stage, and going through counseling and medications does help you get back to normal life. Okay, in terms of my pain, so this is day 10 postpartum. Pain has considerably reduced. I can't even remember the last time I took painkillers. I think I probably stopped on day 8 or day 9, and I haven't felt any pain since then. So yes, I've recovered quite quickly, because obviously in the C-section, they expect you to recover in 6 weeks. So I've recovered quite quickly on day 10, and I'm doing well for myself. So I'm very happy about that. So in terms of like recovering quickly, I think things that help me with recovering quickly are, like, increasing my physical activity. So I do a lot of things around the house. In the first few days, I started walking around more, doing bits and bobs around the house. I wasn't like sitting around and having things done for me, even though like I could have done that because I had my mom around. But I didn't want to do that. I just got into the same routine, like, taking care of Nato, running after the toddler, just doing as much as I could tolerate in terms of the pain. And I'm also going out for a lot of walks. I'm eating well. My mom, she's making all these native Nigerian dishes for women who have just delivered. And yeah, so it's helped me a lot and to recover quickly. So yes, I'm thankful for that. So guys, I wanted to let you guys know that my baby also had jaundice. So I noticed that the sclera of my babies was a bit yellow. That was on day 5. So it coincided with when my breast milk started to flow. So I obviously thought she had jaundice, which I confirmed with my midwife, because my midwife came on day 6 to weigh baby. So the midwives, they normally come around to weigh the baby and also do a heel spore test. So when my midwife came on day 6 to carry out these investigations, I did ask if my baby had a jaundice, which she confirmed. So baby has got jaundice. It's nothing to worry about, because it's developed after 24 hours. It's only when it develops within 24 hours that it tends to be, it might be related to something serious, or because it's happened on day 5, they're not too worried about it. Although she's going to be checked over after 2 weeks. We do have an appointment after 2 weeks to check her over to make sure like is gone. So hopefully that happens. So guys, another thing I wanted to talk about is like battling with self-image. Like after you've given birth, your tummy might still be look like you're still like 3 or 4 months pregnant, and it does seem to be a cause of worry and concern to most moms, because you're trying to battle with the changes that the changes that you've undergone in the body. Obviously, like during pregnancy, like everything tends to move around, and you might not be very proud of your of your current body. But the way I do see it is like you've taken 9 months to grow this baby. It's taken 9 months for you to undergo these changes. So I feel like it's going to take a bit of time to get back to normal. So obviously you can do things to help facilitate this process by working out, exercising, eating right, and eventually you get your body back. Do not put yourself on so much pressure watching other women snap back quickly after delivery on social media. People do have different bodies, and it might be quicker for people to snap back compared to the others. So we just have different bodies, so you just need to know what type of body you have and just be patient. At the end of the day, we'll all go back to how we've been. So guys, just try not to get too pressured about it or get too worried about it. So guys, that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed my video, and if you did enjoy my video, please hit on that subscribe button and like, comment and share my videos, and I'll see you later in my next video. Bye.